Kia ora team, so this mission, we are on Eastern Whio Link with the Eastern Whio Link crew. We got 7 people in here, 2 dogs, and our mission this weekend is to lay out 6 kilometers of stoke traps around some whio and maybe pick up a couple of deer and trout along the way. As we're walking, we spotted some Tawaka mushrooms, and Tawaka mushrooms are absolutely delicious. They're one of our favourite mushrooms in the bush that we like to eat. Bit of butter, bit of garlic, they will go down real well for dinner. Cool thing though is that they grow on paua trees, titoki trees or Harriet. You pick all of them? Would you look at that, we found more Tawaka mushrooms. This place is absolutely riddled. It's delicious. We're gonna have a big fry up tonight and it is gonna be tasty, I reckon. Just put up my tent and everyone is having a cup of tea. Not talking much about doing much work this afternoon. Everyone's feeling pretty relaxed, so I think there's talk about maybe going for a hunt this evening, maybe go for a fish, and lots of swimming in the river because it's really quite hot. So we are living the dream. It is the evening. The crew have had a nice little break this afternoon and we are about to go for a hunt, but we're also going to go take some eDNA samples of water quality, and the reason we're doing that is because when we can find out what the insect life is doing in the stream, we can predict how much whio food is in that river. And by doing that we can prioritize what rivers we trap, because those are the rivers that whio are most likely to breed in. Oh. The rest of the crew are finishing off those eDNA samples and we are going hunting with Glenn and Christy because the hungry must be fed. We've just been finishing up our stalk, a fairly unsuccessful hunt, but there is a pair of whio in the stream, which is pretty cool because those are the whio we're out here trying to protect this trip. That's the whio we're putting traps around, and these are the guys that hopefully are going to breed more ducklings next season. Well team, yesterday was pretty neat. We carried in a bunch of traps, went for a hunt, fairly unsuccessful, and we saw a pair of whio, which was pretty cool. What we're doing today is we are loading our packs up with traps. We got the guns, we got the dogs, we are on a mission. We're laying out 57 traps towards Makakoere hut to trap stokes to protect the whio living up there, and hopefully we find ourselves a deer.
Pushing it from the line.
Just arrived at Makakoere hut. What a beauty. One of the few Te Uruwera huts still left standing. So come have a look inside.
thing about this hut, look.
Harriet's nudged up ahead on the way back, hopefully try and see a deer. Deer have been pretty elusive, to be honest with you, this trip. But we saw like 5 or 6 carcasses on the way up the Makakoi there that were really fresh, so maybe they've had a bit of pressure over Christmas, New Year. Who knows? Anyway, we're gonna nudge back. I'm sure Harriet, if she sees something, will smoke something, and we'll see. Alright, so Harriet and I missioned it back from the hut, from doing our trap lines, and made it to the hut. We ditched some gear. We decided still got some energy, so we're gonna go have a look up. I've got a good feeling. We'll see. Did you get it?
Nah, I think I was missed. Where did you see him? Was he just spooking out of the bottom? Or was
Yeah, I
he
just
up in
saw
those
him
bushes?
up in the bush there.
Damn. Because I was like on here, like when he started spooking. Damn. Oh, that would have been cool.
Would have been cool. We just saw a pretty like nice stag for the Waioeka. Like he was definitely a 10, maybe an 11, maybe a 12. We spooked him. The wind's been up our arse pretty much the whole walk. Been swirling, not very fun. We spooked him and then he popped out on the slip. And Harriet took a very, like, she needed to take a quick shot. He was on the move, about to jump into the bush. She took a shot, didn't quite nail it, so.
Didn't connect.
Didn't connect. So we'll keep on wandering up. Hopefully something else pops out, but my goodness. When that velvet stag, I'll put a photo up, but when that velvet stag goes hard, here's gonna be a Waioeka trophy, I reckon, 100%. What a beast. Oh, leave that one for the raw, eh?
Yeah, I reckon.
Well, we managed to bump another deer. Deer number 2. Couldn't see it. Just couldn't bloody see it. Again, winds up our tail. Crashed off through the bush. Harriet made a good amount of horn noises.
I tried.
And it didn't come back. Oh well. It's just not going our way. Wind's up our arse, we're bumping deer left, right and centre. Just managed to bump another hind, so carry on. One of these days we'll connect, surely. Far out, what a hunt. So we have just been bumping animal after animal. I think we bumped like 6 animals all up, and now Harriet has just found an animal broadside on the river flats, topped it over, boomfa, heading home with me. What a freaking legend. Beautiful evening, getting dark. One of us realised that we may have potentially, hypothetically, not saying, but forgotten our head torch. So it's going to be a bit of a walk. We found out that we looked at the map and we're like, oh, we're like 5.5 k's from camp, which is a little ways. Some nice little gorges, and with no head torch, that is going to be quite fun. So we're boning this meat out as quick as we can, and we're going to get back to camp as quickly as we can. Far out team. I am like so broken this morning. That was a mission of a walk last night. Goodness me, one head torch. But yeah, it was cool. We saw 5 whio on the way out, which was epic. Two of them, two pairs were having this big sky battle, chasing each other in the air at night time, flying overhead, which was pretty cool. There's another single in the creek. As we walked, there were like tuna, the eels in the stream, like scuttling out of our way, which was neat, and just glowworms up the banks of the little gorges as we walked down them. We got back at like just after 11 PM, before midnight. I fell over in the river, slipped on a rock. The Bagara rifle hit me in the back of the head, split the back of my head open and blood was coming out. Anyway, it was a pretty amazing little hunt with Harriet, loved it, but now we're about to pack up her stuff, do some eDNA sampling out of the rivers, and we are going to lay a couple more traps on the track on the way out and head home.
No, he's not running loop runs like the other day. It's like, alright.
Well, what we're doing over here is we're collecting eDNA samples, and eDNA is a real useful tool that we use on Eastern Whio Link to help us predict where the most productive sections of river are for fuel. So the eDNA samples the DNA out of the river. It tells us what insect larvae are living in that river. It tells us what species of fish are there. It tells us what animals are interacting with that river. What that allows us to do is essentially to find the whio food, and where we find the most whio food, that's where we put our trap. Well, team, back at the truck. No, not real much videoing because I was just, after our 30k walk yesterday, I was blowing steam the whole way back. Anyway, thanks for coming along. A bit of trapping, a bit of hunting. It's the kind of adventures we like to do on Eastern Whio Link, being a hunter-led conservation project. I know this wasn't a straight hunting video, but it was a video about what we do. So, you know, we like to trap in these rivers, we like to look after those ecosystems that look after us, and usually along the way we get given a whole bunch of yum, delicious food. So we got a deer on this trip, we found some Tawaka mushrooms. If you haven't tried Tawaka mushrooms before, give them a go, they're absolutely delicious. And if you don't mind, and you enjoy this sort of stuff, flick us a like, flick a subscribe. That's apparently what you do on YouTube. Only my second video, I don't know what I'm doing, but thank you.